Hello. Me and Vincent are here with you. Good afternoon. How you doing? Hey, Sarah. Sarah from Sacramento. Glad to see you. Can you hear me? Does everything seem good? How are you all today? Let me know in the comment section how you are. What's been going on with you? Get a little bit more light in here. Open that window. Hey, Susan. Glad to see you. I'm going to go open that window over there. How is your day feeling today? Coach Nancy says, thank you, Free Spirit, for letting me know you can hear me. Says, if your emotions were the weather, what would the weather be today? I like that one. Maybe we'll start using that one. What would the weather be like for you inside if your emotions were weather? Hello, Rochelle. So glad to see you. As always, Eat to Live family is coming on in, representing. Happy to see you, lovely folks. Get to see you every day, which is such an honor for me. Melissa says, it's cold here. I'm under a blanket with the dog. I am not under a blanket with a cat who's licking my podcast mic. Story of my life. Hey, is it Yasmin with the Y there? Free Spirit says, cold, East Coast snowstorm. Thank you, Rochelle. I like my hair too lately. We went to El Paso for Christmas and my hair went out to here because it was humid. It was raining there. It's nice to come home and have perfect hair. It was not like this when I used to live in Florida. Hey, Allison. I'm so glad you came. Anna, so good to see you. Down under. Must be kind of early in the morning for you right now. And Melissa says, hi, Moo. This one's Vincent. Moo is in the spaghetti down there. So cute. Oh, weather feeling is positive today. I like that. Good, Susan. My hair wants to be in humidity. My hair is like this, but out to here. Like I seriously look like a lion. It's kind of hilarious. If it's ever a humid day, I promise to keep it natural and you'll see, but it's never humid here. So that's why honestly, that's one of the reasons we moved here. Okay. So I'm going to do a workshop for you today about how to create a protocol. This is sort of a hot button topic. It's something that we talk a lot about in the Eat to Live family. We're talking about it a lot currently right now because it's kind of the foundation that we move forward from. So without a protocol, I'll explain all about what this is and how to create one today. Without a protocol, you're kind of like in a boat in choppy waters with no oars. There's no way to kind of navigate what you're doing because you're just sort of, you're just sort of eating. So we're talking about relation, of course, to healthy eating and weight loss. You're just sort of eating and trying to lose weight without a plan, right? Yes, Melissa, exactly. The hair thing is triangle head. That's so it. And that's why I have layers in my hair because I hate blunt cuts because my hair has a lot of volume. And so it just does this triangle thing. I hate that so much. So we got to do the layers. We got to not live in Florida anymore. I know. Grass is greener, isn't it? Grass is greener. So how to create a protocol. Let's, I gotta open up my iPad here. My brother's always sending me funny TikTok videos. How to create a protocol workshop. Now, I want you to have some paper and a pen or a pencil. Do you have your paper and a pen or a pencil? Let me know in the comments. Do you have it with you? I want to gauge your engagement. I want to know if you're actually going to use this information for good or not. Let me know if you've got some paper and a pencil, okay? Or a pen, a notebook, something like that. Just write this down. Okay, Free Spirit does have one. Yes, good. Susan has her paper. Good. Mm-hmm. Free Spirit says, oh my gosh, I was going to use that comparison. I feel like I'm in a boat with no oars. I need a protocol quick. Perfect. That's what we got for you today. Okay. Allison is ready. Melissa is ready. Good deal. Okay. All of you are in the Eat to Live family. That's so sweet. Tina Marie, glad you're ready too. Good. Okay. So let's start with the basics. Yeah. This is a screenshot. It doesn't look very nice because it's a screenshot, but I took some notes this morning about what I wanted to say. And so I screenshotted it. So what is a protocol and why we use one? In a basic nutshell, I'm going to use my fancy pointer here. A protocol is a tool that we use for healthy eating and weight loss. Vincent is literally like pawing at the screen right now. Cute. It's a tool that we use to, how can I put it? Like, hey, Chantal, I'm glad to see you, dear. All the way from the Netherlands. Nice to see you, family member. Rochelle is ready too. Good. Hope you guys have your pen, your paper, your pencil, whatever. Hey, Con Marie from Down Under as well. Good morning. We got our family here. Everyone's saying hi to everybody. So sweet. I love it. I can't wait till we can finally do a retreat and all be in the same actual room together with actual hugs. Okay. So a protocol is a tool that we use. Now I'm going to just say like, it's a tool that we use during something like healthy eating and weight loss and consistency, like the journey to all these things. I'm going to say gain as well, because I don't often talk about weight gain, but there's many of us who don't have any weight to lose, or we actually want to gain weight. This is the same concept. Okay. So just sort of fill in the blanks here. This is all the same stuff. So we use a protocol as a tool to create, to like move us along our journey on healthy eating, weight loss, or gain, or just to consistency. Okay. So like say our struggle is, we're coming from standard American diet and we want to eat healthier. We don't have to be doing full nutritarian, but we just want to eat healthier, right? Or say our struggle is that we need to lose weight, or say our struggle is that we want to gain weight, or say our struggle is that we just can't stay consistent. We use a protocol for this. I'm going to show you how we use it. Okay. So it's a set of meals that we eat on a daily, a weekly, a monthly, or even a yearly basis. And we're going to kind of like talk about this range and this range here. And then we're going to talk a little bit about consistency. We're going to talk about weekly and daily. And then we're going to talk about consistency beyond that as well. So we have learned a lot about, hey, Nutritarian for Health and Fitness, good to see you. We have learned a lot about protocol in the Eat to Live Academy, which is a part of the Eat to Live family. It's my course. It's like a self-directed coaching course. It shows you sort of the entire foundation of what we do here. And so you learn about protocol in there. There's a whole module in there about protocol, creating your own protocol. And I wanted to kind of do a hands-on workshop today to guide you through that so that you have something to take with you and use however you see fit, right? So this is how I coach. This is what I coach on because it works and because I use it myself, and I've lost, now it's, I think it's 28 pounds because I'm down another pound today, 28 pounds in the last year and a half since my twin pregnancy. And I've got maybe 15 pounds to go, 10 pounds to go, something like that. And I will continue to do the same exact thing because it works. Now, why does it work? Because when we decide ahead of time what to eat, and when we make a plan for what we eat, we are that much more likely to follow that plan. Many people often have a thought of like, oh, I don't want to have to plan ahead. I don't want to have to do that. It's such a pain in the butt. But what actually happens, because I've seen this happen countless times with private clients, with group coaching clients in the family, et cetera, is when we say we just, and with myself as well. Okay. So this is all experience as well, personal experience. When we say, oh, I don't feel like making a protocol. I don't feel like writing something down or having to think about it ahead of time. I just want that spontaneity. What we're actually trading that time for is a bunch of time in our head with drama and cravings and, wanting to eat things and hemming and hawing about we should eat or shouldn't eat and how much of it are we going to eat, and and then you're done eating and you still want to keep eating, and you then it turns into a binge and all this thing, right? Like when we create a protocol and we remove the choice, it's just one and done. Like you just make the thing, you're done, you eat it. The only thing that is left is for you to actually emotionally decide to eat it when the time comes, right? We'll talk about that in a moment. But you remove so you're saying, I want to be spontaneous. I want to be able to just choose. It's so much easier. It's so much faster. It's actually not. It's actually the exact opposite because of what I said. There's so much more drama, so much more thoughts and binging and overeating that goes on. And even if it was just extra cravings and things because you're leaving things open, oh, maybe I'll have this or maybe I'll have that. It adds on so much drama, and that weight is heavy. That's like a lot to carry around every day. Whereas if you make a protocol and you get good at following it, which is what I teach in the Eat to Live family, if you make a protocol and you get good at following it, which is the thought work and stuff that I teach, then you save so much time. Like it takes you a minute or two in the morning to do it. And all the day is like saved because you don't have any of that other drama if you're good at following it. And then you find that you have so much extra time for other stuff, for other thoughts, for other activities, all this kind of stuff, right? Like, if you want your spontaneity with your meals and you want to be able to eat willy-nilly whatever you want, whenever you're going to lose spontaneity in the closet when you're actually picking out your clothes, because only certain things fit, because you're not actually losing weight and you're not actually like following a specific program, right? Like it's a trade-off. It's always going to be a trade-off too. Like you're always going to have to spend some time in the kitchen to make the food, or spend some time in the closet hemming and hawing about which outfit fits today, right? That's kind of how that works, okay? Thanks, Chantal. Feeling pretty good too. I feel great. I'm feeling so good. I am back. I'm back. It's been a long year, but man, 2022 is a good shift for me. All right. So that's why we use one. All right. It's just a set of meals that we eat on a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. And we can kind of like make it how we want. So that's what I'm going to teach you today. Now, what does it do? Let me move these things out of the way. Oops. I don't know if I can move it because that image is attached to it. Here, let me see if I can just move the image. Yeah. Okay. So what does it do? My cat is highly rubbing her face against me right now. So let's go back to my pen here. Oh, we go here. So what does it actually do for us? What does a protocol do? Like, what is the whole reason we would use a protocol? Because a protocol is something that we use to create a result. And it's sort of like you can think of it like a test. Like, how could you test out a set of meals to see if it creates the results you want? And what are those results that we're looking for? Right here, where we want to know, does it satisfy our hunger? Does it keep us satisfied until the next meal? Do we get enough nutrients? Are we getting enough fiber? Do we get weight loss from it, or maintenance or gains, depending on what we want? And do we get disease prevention and reversal, right? So we can use protocols for all of these things. And what we're trying to do is create a protocol, like a custom protocol that works just for us personally, that creates the things that we want, the goals that we want. So you guys let me know in the comments, what are the results that you're looking for in a protocol right now? Because a lot of people will tell me that it's not even weight loss they're looking for. Like that would be nice maybe, but that's not like their number one. So tell me, what are the things from this list that are interesting to you? Like what do you want your protocol to do for you? Because that's what I want to say is like, that's why we eat, right? This is the whole reason. Those are all the reasons we eat: to get the nutrients, to satisfy our hunger, to be satisfied until the next meal, to either lose, maintain, or gain weight, and to use food for health, for disease prevention or reversal. Okay. So Rochelle says I want control over my food choices. Okay. But what do you want? That's sort of another result like later, but what do you want from your food actually? When you eat your food, what do you want? What kind of result do you want from your food? Yep. So Susan says weight loss. She wants to hit her eat to live weight goal this year for my health. Yeah. Perfect. The two amazing answers. Yep. Those are the same for me. It's always just about weight loss and health, right? I definitely want my food to be able to provide all of those things. Rochelle says I want nutrients. Yep. We want that health. We want the nutrient load, the G bombs. Chantel says a hold onto something steady in my life that gets me health and weight loss. Yep. Beautiful. And that's what we're working on together for sure. Anna says, create order, manage disease prevention, nutrition, satisfaction, and satiety. Fantastic. And that's what this will do for you. Tina says, I want my food to keep me healthy. There you go. Free Spirit says, health and weight loss to protect me from recurring breast cancer. Amen, sister. Amen. That's the same thing I want. Con Marie, I want health and not to feel hungry and lose weight. Good goals. Melissa wants energy, motivation, and lack of drama in my thoughts. Amen to that one. Melissa, weight loss, health, nutrition, lower cholesterol, and blood sugar. Fantastic. Yep. You guys, if you've seen the most recent YouTube video that I put up, my protocol created exactly that for me, right? I've been losing weight steadily now. My cholesterol is not high anymore. My blood sugar is back in range. I no longer have a risk, C-reactive protein, a cardiac risk anymore. Back to, no cancer anymore, obviously. Back to health, right? And it will create all of it. So that's why we created protocol. And yeah, Rochelle had said, she mentioned that trade-off for your health, right? So wanting to have that spontaneity, wanting to just like eat whatever you want willy-nilly, there are trade-offs, right? So that's why we do a protocol. That's why we get a little bit scientific about it, right? And I don't like to use the word strict because that's not what we're talking about. It's not strict at all. It's just choosing ahead of time. That's all it is. So when we think that it's restrict and we feel like we're restricted, then we're not going to stick to it because we think it's a negative thing. But I want you to shift your thoughts away from this sort of restriction idea and towards what I'm talking about here. These benefits that we get from it, right? Not only these things that I gave you, but also that going into your closet and never having to worry which pants you're going to wear today because they all fit now, right? Which shirt can you wear and it won't sort of bubble over the top? Well, it doesn't matter because you're at the right, you're at your goal weight. So you can wear any of the shirts, and you just like going into your closet is a joy now, right? Like it's always a little bit exhilarating because you're like, I get to pick whatever I want. It's more about just like, I can be spontaneous how I want to dress today, right? And then I'm getting all these other benefits too. Thanks, Susan. Loved my update video. I loved making it. Thank you, Rochelle. And Tatiana says, healthy food to keep me from getting another autoimmune disease. Amen, sister, for sure. We want that disease reversal and prevention, as Julia said as well. So let's move on. Let's talk about examples of some protocols. So we'll start with my protocol, okay? I'm going to add another page down here because I'm going to write out mine a little bit. So this first one here, an example of a protocol, is mine, which is my current one, which says Fab Five and bready 4 times a week. Now that sounds like, I don't know what that sounds like, but it sounds weird. But I'll tell you what that means. Let me get a little bigger pencil here. So Fab Five plus, let me put this plus sign down here further. Bready 4 times a week. Okay, so my protocol now, I want to say, when we start making protocols, we try to do them for 2 weeks is what we're trying to create. Now you might think to yourself, oh my gosh, 2 weeks, like how could I ever eat the same thing for 2 weeks? There is variety within this 2 weeks. Okay. So I'll show you where that variety comes from. Hey, Leah. So glad to see you. Okay. My protocol, Fab Five, when I say Fab Five, I mean every day, my protocol, it is the same. My protocol is the same. It is it's several of this Fab Five, which I'll tell you what that is in a minute. And I just eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. So the Fab Five to me is juice, smoothies, salad, oatmeal, and soups. Now, why did I pick these 5 things? Because over time, I found that these were the ones I kind of always gravitated to because I really understood how to make them. They were pretty easy. Like if you're making a casserole, it's more involved, right? Like you actually have to like do stuff ahead of time. But like a smoothie takes 10 minutes to make, juice takes 10 minutes to make, salad makes 10 minutes to make, oatmeal takes 5 minutes to make, soups. You make them ahead of time, but then you can just pull them out of the fridge, right? So for me, I chose these 5 things because they're the most convenient and they're just formulas. So it's not like I'm always like, oh, I always have to have this smoothie every day and I have to have this salad every day, same salad dressing, and you get so bored. No, this is just a sort of skeleton for what we eat. And then we fill in, it's like a wireframe, right? And then we fill in what ingredients we're going to use. And those change all the time. So there you're getting plenty of nutrient diversity. You don't have to worry about, oh, you're eating the same thing. Am I going to have a problem or something? No, like you're always mixing things up. Oh, I forgot to put that this one is always my vitamins. So as I went along, I found which ones that I really liked. The ones that I really like are juice and vitamins. I like to have that every day because I know I'm going to get plenty of, vitamins and minerals and things like that. And I do it based on Dr. Furman's recommendation, which is important for cancer patients or ex-cancer patients or even people who are trying to prevent things. Okay. So Dr. Furman's recommendation there. So I added juicing very recently within the last 6 months because of my cancer treatment. So that is the one that I have decided I want to do every day. And I try not to not have it, right? I always try to have that every day. The other one that is a non-negotiable for me is salad. So those 2, juice and salad, are the non-negotiables for me. The other ones I can kind of mix and match based on my hunger. Okay. Only based on my hunger. So if I'm hungry, I will eat. If I'm not hungry, I do not eat. When I'm not feeling hungry anymore, I stop eating. Period. Like that's it. Those are the rules. So I choose between any of these things all day long, and I only eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full. Now, I know that this is tough for folks in the beginning because we are not in tune with our hunger signals, but this is exactly why we should start doing this because we can start to get in tune with our hunger signals. I want to make a note about the idea that, when we start out this kind of stuff, I want you to expect that you're going to be good at this 20% of the time. Okay. 20% of the time, maybe. Actually, you know what? Let me just, let's be more generous. Let's say we're going to be good at this 10% of the time, right? All the stuff I'm talking about, all the stuff I'm teaching 10% of the time. That means we're going to not do so great 90% of the time, right? But then guess what? 3 months later, we're going to be doing pretty good 20% of the time. And we're going to be not doing so good 70% of the time. Yeah. And then we move up. 40 and 50 and 70. Oops, I did that math wrong. This is 80 and 70 and 60 and 50, right? So we're just going to keep getting better. We're going to keep getting good at knowing, for instance, some more juice recipes, right? After we've practiced for a couple months, we'll know a lot of juice recipes, and then we can kind of make our own juices on the fly. We'll know how to make smoothies because we've tried 5, 6, 7 different types of smoothies. And we know exactly what ingredients we like in our smoothies. We will have tried a bunch of different salads, right? So we're getting better and better and better as we go. And also this percentage idea applies to the idea of, what if we don't eat our protocol? And like sometimes we forget to eat it, or sometimes we end up going out with friends and overeating, or we end up binging at home because we got emotional stuff going on and we didn't really manage those emotions very well. So this also applies to our sort of success rate too. And what I want to show you is that it's a progression, right? I'm not telling you to do this and then you have to be perfect. I'm telling you that you're going to get better and better at this. Okay. So that's what we're kind of shooting for here. So that's my Fab Five. That's what I mean by Fab Five. So I try to make all of my days have like 2 or 3 of those a day because I'm listening to my hunger signals. And if I ate all 5 of these in one day, it would be too much food. I don't want that much food. It's too much. I'd just be gaining weight and, I would be full all the time. It wouldn't feel good. It'd be too much food. So I just sort of mix and match and pick what I want that day based on what's in my fridge, what I want to make, what I'm sort of interested in, what I'm craving. Do I want to have something warm versus something cold, whatever, right? So you can see how this is super flexible and you get to make it how you want, all right? And then this other part of it, bready 4 times a week, is my personal protocol, which is because I'm a person who really likes carbs. And I often make almost every day or every other day, I often make something for my daughters that is bready. So like, I might make oatmeal. I might make them something with actual bread or toast. I might make waffles or pancakes. So for me, this is the bready list of things that are typically in our house. And I did a lot of work and what I mean work by is this kind of stuff. I did a lot of work to get to a point where I was allowing myself to have these things 4 times a week. And over time, I got used to the fact that I can have them if I want them. So might as well not binge on them. If I want them, I'll just have them again tomorrow or the next day or whatever. So I stopped binging on it. I stopped overeating on them. And now my protocol is that I'm having them 4 times a week. And what I have noticed from testing this protocol, messing up on this protocol, doing really well on this protocol, messing up and becoming a scientist and gathering all my data about it, what I have learned for myself is that having bready things 3-4 times a week. Now, as I said, I'm not overeating on them. I'm just maybe while I'm making some food for my daughters, I'm having a couple of the pancakes or whatever. I'm not sitting there like binging, right? Because I can have them if I want them. So why binge? I can have them tomorrow too. I can have them the next day if I want them. For me, 4 times a week is a good amount of time to have it. And then saying like 3 times a week, I'm not going to have any of that stuff. Okay. That's how I do that for myself. And when you remove the can't have it from your protocol, that's when the charge and the drama comes out of it, right? I'm glad that you think this one is so helpful, Rochelle and Melissa. I'm glad you're loving your juices. That's so good. Oh yeah, and Thrift Geek says, understanding nutrients is so important. I just quit drinking so much almond milk because of the calcium carbonate. It was like eating 4 Tums every day. Yeah, for sure. We have to be knowing what's in our food, right? Okay, so I'm glad you're liking this workshop. So that's my protocol. Okay, so that is what I do. Now, I want to come to this idea of small shift. This is something we talk about in the family all the time. By the way, I just want to mention next week, we're doing a free 5-day challenge. Okay. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, let me just give you the website. It's thewateringmouth.com/challenge. Okay. Go to this web address right here, thewateringmouth.com/challenge and sign up. We already have over 720 people signed up for this particular challenge. It's going to be a big one. We haven't even started the challenge yet, and it's huge. Go to thewateringmouth.com/challenge and we will just send you the challenge itself. Now, I got to brag a little bit because I spent some time to really pretty up the challenge this time. It looks gorgeous. Shout out if you guys like how it looks this time. It's so much more organized, easy to use, and I finally just had the time to do that. So I'm really glad that we finally did that. So you want to download it anyways because it's gorgeous. It's a really nice PDF, and because it's like free recipes anyways, might as well download it, okay? You also get the meal plans and the grocery list. Even if you're not going to do it with us live starting on Monday, still download it because you can have all the recipes, right? But on Monday is when we start live. That means everyone and their brother can do this with us. You have plenty of time to get ready. It's Friday, starts on Monday. You still have days to, shop and prep and all that stuff. And even if you started it late, no big deal. Like, who cares? Might as well. Like, let's just do it together, right? You get that camaraderie. But not just the challenge is going to be awesome. Eating healthfully. We'll tell you exactly what to eat, new recipe, awesome recipes, all that. but I'm doing a free live workshop. So if you like what we're doing today, come on with me next week. So I'm doing 4 of these next week, Monday through Thursday. The topics are going to be why we overeat and how to stop. The next day is how to get over stalls and plateaus. The next day is how to end all or nothing thinking. And then the last day, we're going to be talking about like how nutritarian do I need to be, and who is our future, what are we in store for in the future. And also, we're going to just celebrate the progress that we've had over the week. Okay. So join us, thewateringmouth.com/challenge. That starts on Monday. But then the week after that is when the family reopens. Okay. So I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. Monday, the 17th is when the family reopens. We're going to allow you to come into the family again and join our little beautiful tight-knit family, which you can see everyone comes over from the family to these live videos because there's just so much awesomeness going on all the time. And we're all like friends now. We're all like family. We know each other. We know each other's struggles. We've seen each other. We're helping each other. It's a group coaching membership. So if you think that you like what I'm talking about, you like this stuff and you want to hear more, the family is the place for you. Okay. Yeah. That's right. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys like the look of it. And I'm glad you like this too, Susan. Easy and super helpful. Love the Fab Five. Yep. Loving the new look of the challenges. Looks very pretty and tasty. Yeah, as one family member said, we eat with our eyes too. And Rochelle says, I'm really looking forward to the 5-day challenge and topics. Good. And let me know, you guys too, or let the folks watching this video know what you think about the family as well. Because that's really where I want to be pushing you all to join, because it is, as you can see, all the people that come on this call, we have such great camaraderie. And that is what we're looking for when we're trying to make these big changes of, like we talked about, let me put this back up. Like we talked about hunger, satiety, maintenance, gains, weight loss, disease prevention, reversal. When we're trying to make these changes, having this sort of family, that community with us is so helpful, not to mention all the other crazy amounts of things that you get in the family, my personal weight loss vlog, all this great stuff. And also it's actual coaching too. So I do one-on-one coaching with people and in a group setting every month. It's so good. Alex says, I'm loving the food, but it gets monotonous and I'm a picky eater. Okay, that's very interesting, Alex. There's also some thoughts that you have in your head about yourself as if they were your identity, right? As if they were on your driver's license. I'm a picky eater. This food is monotonous, right? So we talk about this in the family, about how our thoughts about everything create our results. So your thoughts about monotony, being a picky eater, things like that are causing certain results for you. And so that's something that we want to kind of like dig into and work on. And that's what we do in the family. Oh, Con Marie, the family is life-changing. Love to hear it. I agree. Rochelle says the resources in the family are endless. They sure are. There's so much in there. So wonderful. Okay, so Sarah asks, when you say 4 times a week for Brady, does that mean a meal day or a serving? It's just a serving, right? Like, so for me, it's just more of like, so that's a great question, because when I do my protocol here and I'm doing, let me get this guy, and I'm doing any of these things, the sort of loving rule that I have for myself, let me just write that down, because that's a term that I am just obsessed with, loving rules. The loving rule that I have is that I have to eat my Fab Five first, and then I can have a little bit of the other, right? So that's sort of a loving rule. I don't always do that well, because sometimes when I'm making pancakes for the daughters, I'll start eating those first. But I have this, the loving rule is actually more about the juice, is more about the juice and the salad and the vitamins. Like those are the 3 things that I do not waver on every day. Like those are the things that my loving rule is. As long as I eat these, I can still have the bready stuff, right? Like just a loving rule for myself is like, it's a guideline. Like I don't have to follow if I want to, but I call it a loving rule because it's a thing that I would do if I loved myself, right? And so why wouldn't I do it? Because I know I love how I feel when I have my juice and my salad. And so, yeah, sometimes I'll have the bready stuff early, but the number one thing that matters about all of this is that I'm also eating to hunger and satiety always. So let's say I'm on an off day where I ended up having a couple waffles first. I will eat only to satiety. So even if I haven't had my salad, I don't overeat ever. Like that's the whole idea, is like working on not overeating anymore. So I make sure that, let's say I, sort of went off plan, didn't follow my rule about eating my Fab Five first. I ate some of the waffles, and then maybe I had 2 waffles or something. Maybe I even put like vegan butter and maple syrup on them or something, and started actually making a meal out of it. If it was salad time, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to forego my salad because I had this and I had enough, right? I would be listening to my hunger signals, and I would stop when I was full. And I would say, okay, number one loving rule is that I only eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full. And then I just fill everything in there. And so if I have eaten those waffles, then I go, okay, I'm going to be done now. And I'm just going to wait until my next meal, until I'm hungry again to have whatever next Fab Five I was going to have. Sometimes that means like if I did the waffle thing at like 4:00, I'm not even going to be hungry after that. So I'll just stop eating for the day, right? If I did that waffle thing at 10 a.m., like then maybe I'll have my juice with it, and then I'll for sure wait until 2, 3, 4 p.m. to have my salad because the waffles was enough, right? So I'm always trying to like have my salad first and have my juice first and stuff. But if I don't happen to, I just revert to the sort of bare minimum goal of only eating when I'm hungry and stopping when I'm full. Okay. Chantal says, I'm the only one in my family and friends that doesn't eat meat, so let alone trying to eat healthy and vegan nutritarian. The Eat to Live family really supports me in this lifestyle. Oh, that's so good to hear. Yep. So true. We need that support, right? Melissa says, hubby is starting Eat to Live with me. Do I do couple coaching? I've been known to do some couple coaching before. Have him come on one of the calls, Melissa. I'll straighten him out. Lynn says, literally just finished listening to your interview with Dr. Furman, and I found it very interesting and informative. I'm so glad, Lynn. That's all we got over here is interesting, informative. So stick with us. All right. So that's my protocol. That's an example of my protocol. The other thing I wanted to mention was, here, let me skip down here for a second. Also, the challenges that you're doing. So the 5-day challenge that you are all about to embark on is the same protocol that I use when it comes to like either a smoothie and then a salad and then maybe a little bit of dinner, or an oatmeal and a salad and a little bit of dinner or whatever. Sometimes we have other types of meals too, but when we put together challenges, it's this exact protocol. Like I modeled it after the protocol that I use for weight loss, right? And I pass that on to Nancy. So now when she makes recipes and she does the challenges, it's always the same exact thing that I use in my own personal protocol. So the challenges are that protocol. And you can also go to YouTube. This stands for What I Eat in a Day, by the way. That's my little personal, like the little abbreviation I use for that. The What I Eat in a Day videos on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, there's tons of those protocols on there that are the same exact protocols that we would use on a challenge. And there's just like 3 meals in one day. And it's all meals you can use. They're huge meals. And then you just eat only when you're hungry and stop when you're full for each meal. And then the weight loss is easy that way. Yes, we're going to talk about this too. Does your protocol also include other factors like eating window, daily water intake amount? Yep, exactly. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. Okay, so let's come to this idea here, small shifts. Now, small shifts is a concept that we use in the family, and I'm going to tell you what that means here. Small shifts meaning when I tell you this protocol that I've given you, this is a protocol of somebody who's been following Eat to Live for years and years and years. And I have a lot of experience, and I have a private coach myself so that I can get back into this after my pregnancy and the cancer journey and all that. Like, this is the protocol of somebody who like has their stuff together, right? And there's a lot of folks in acronym. Thank you, Melissa. There's a lot of folks in the Eat to Live family who also are sort of more at this I would say maybe more advanced stage of Eat to Live. But that is not where we start. And that is not where I started. Okay. I want you to know, and that's why we have this concept of small shifts, that it is not required to start here. Like this is like where you want to get, right? This is the goal, but it's not required to start here. You can start here if you want, but most folks, especially ones that are just beginners coming from standard American diet, can't do this yet. This is too much. So that's where small shifts come in. Okay. So what is a small shift? A small shift is when you start where you are and start shifting small things every week or two. Okay. So for instance, I gave an example in the Eat to Live family about one of my small shifts that occurred right when I finished when I had the babies, when I had the pregnancy, right? Wait, how do I get rid of this banner? I forgot to take this one down. But yeah, you can go to thewateringmouth.com/challenge and sign up, but let me remove that. So there's less words there. So as I was coming off of that pregnancy, I had not very good food habits at that point, right? Not nutritarian, like lots of Starbucks. That was sort of my escape out of the house, was to go to Starbucks. Croissants are my thing, right? Like they've always been my thing. I lived in France for a long time. I have a very strong emotional connection to croissants, or used to, until I started using a small shift to get over that. So for me, because I come from a food addiction background and a binging background, when I was coming off my pregnancy and I started viewing, and I really didn't have that much when I was pregnant, it was more after my pregnancy, I started viewing croissants and going to Starbucks as freedom, right? It was like the way to get out of the house from nursing and pumping and babies and schedule and this and that and diapers and whatever. So I started to view it as freedom. And because I have that tendency to binge, I would have to eat 3 of them every time because I could not only have one flavor. I had to have all the flavors, right? And so I would get that, and I would get my coffee, like a grande full of sugar, kind of coffee. And that's what I was eating after my pregnancy because I had stopped doing all this nutritarian stuff during my pregnancy. And I had to relearn how to come back to this protocol right here, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that just 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I was not where I am right now. And in fact, it's only been in the last, say, 6-9 months that I've been able to get it together. Really just the last probably 3 months that I've really been on track. But like now this is an on track where I know I'll never like stop this. Like I'm here now. I'm never getting pregnant again. So this is just how it's going to be, right? I know I'll never stop this. I know this is maintainable for me, and that's where I am, but that's not how I got here. So let me show you what I did with the croissants. Let me add, so when I was having, say, 3 croissants, I was like 1 coffee and 3 croissants. That would be a meal for me. I would go out and have that. 3 croissants because croissants are crappy food and they don't fill you up, right? So you got to have 3, and then you got to have that coffee, right? And you need that jolt of sugar, right? So that was my meal at Starbucks. Now, a small shift that I made in the very beginning, I did this for a while and I was like, oh, I don't want to give this up. I don't want to give this up. And then I was like, you know what? I really do need to give this up. One day later, I was like, I really need to give this up. How could I do a small shift out of this? And so what it was, all right, which croissant could I give up? And so they have a chocolate one, they have an almond one, and they had a butter one. And I said, well, I don't want to give one up yet. I'm just going to say that I'll have the other one later. So I'll just have 2 at a time. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to have 2. So I got rid of this and I had 2 croissants, right? And then I also was like, oh, I remember how back when I was giving up Starbucks before, I used to do, so like we would start off and this would be like 4 pumps of the sugary syrup, right? So what I did was, I stopped that and then I just started doing 3 pumps. And I did that for a week or 2. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm making a shift here, right? And then when I was ready emotionally, I was like, okay, I'm sort of done with all that. I don't even need all that. When I go out, I'm just going to have 1 croissant and I'm going to have 1 pump of sugar, right? So I did that for a while to the point where I was ready to say, because then what happened was I'm only having 1 croissant, but I'm also hungry. Because 1 croissant and a little coffee is not enough to really like satiate. So then I was like, I need to eat more. So then I was like, I need to have a smoothie before I go to Starbucks, or I need to make sure I have something before I go to Starbucks, right? So then I was like, all right, I'll have a smoothie before I go. And I'm going to switch to, instead of coffee now, I'm going to have my tea, my old tea drink, which was, it's the peach, what do they call it? Peach tranquility tea plus splash of almond milk. right? So no sweetener. And after a while, I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, I used to do that. I'm going to do that again. And so now I'm down to tea and 1 croissant. And then what started happening was I was like, this is not satiating, right? 3 croissants and a sugary coffee was enough to get me through several hours to my next meal, but 1 croissant and tea, not enough. And the other thought that was coming in my head was, oh my gosh, I'm paying like $4 or $5 for some water with the tea bag and a splash of almond milk. I'm not spending money on tea anymore. So then I was like, I quit the drink. And now I'm just going to get the croissant. And then I was like, you know what? Then after a while, 2-3 weeks go by and I'm doing this and I'm like, I can't even do the croissant because then I just get so craving and I'm so hungry that I need to eat after that. And then I'm going off to this other store and getting this other thing or whatever. And I was like, nope, you know what? I'm done with Starbucks. And then I was done. That was it. Period. And I haven't had it since. This is a small shift, okay? This is the small shift technique, okay? So we use that when we're starting out, we're creating our protocol. I want you to start where you are right now. So this idea is that you want to be realistic. You don't want to be, what's the word for when you're being unrealistic, right? You don't want to be like too perfect about this in the beginning, right? If I was like, oh, I'm just going to go from 1 coffee and 3 croissants to no Starbucks anymore. No, I wasn't ready for that, right? I had to shift my thoughts about it and be like, okay, why do I actually want to only have 2 croissants? Or why do I actually only want to have 3 pumps instead of 4, right? And I worked through that slowly enough to the point where I was done with Starbucks, right? So realistic meaning start where you are. And you can start to do this on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. Monthly is kind of easy to start in the beginning. So you go like, how many times a month am I going to Taco Bell? Okay. Now, not all of you are going to be eating food like that, and that's totally fine. But I'm saying like, if we're starting from beginner and we're going to nutritarian, this is where we start. And so let's say you're having Taco Bell twice a week, which is what, like 8 times a month, right? Oops, I did that a little bit wrong, but whatever. 8 times a month, Taco Bell, right? And let's say you have like Subway 3 times a month. And then let's say you have restaurant for dinner 4 times a month. Start here because this is realistic, okay? Many of us are starting from SAD at the beginning. Many of us are starting from standard American diet. Absolutely. So let's start here and be freaking realistic, people. Okay. We have to be realistic because if we're not realistic, we're just going to try it for a while and then we're going to go right back to the croissants or the Taco Bell or the whatever. Okay. Yeah, I know, Chantal, when I stay over with family, they always have croissants and I always fall for it and always feel crappy and still hungry afterwards. Yep. And there's going to be a point, Chantal, where you learn that lesson enough and you put yourself in that lesson enough to realize that every time you go to that family gathering, they're going to have croissants. So I'm not going to have them because I feel crappy, right? And it will happen enough. Yeah. And Lori says, when I smoked eons ago, trying to quit smoking after I ate. And when I got in the car, yeah, habit spots. Over time, I was able to quit and not miss those times. Small shifts. Yep. Create new habits. Yeah. Start where you are, right? Like if you were like, oh, I'm just not going to smoke anymore. No, that's not going to happen. That will not work. That's yo-yo dieting. That's yo-yo smoking, right? Like that doesn't work. We have to do this realistically. Because we're going to end up back at Taco Bell anyways when we're feeling emotional. So we might as well ease out to the point where we don't need it. We actually don't need it anymore. Okay. Alex says, I'm lucky as I never ate fast food. It's a hard thing to give up. My weakness is ice cream and mac and cheese. Yes, Alex. So it's the same exact process, right? Let's not categorize one as worse than the other either, right? Like it's just about eating healthier. So what is your healthy, right? Like how do you want to eat healthier? So for you, Alex, your weakness being ice cream and mac and cheese, we do the same thing as the Starbucks small shift, right? Or the Taco Bell small shift or whatever. So we would start with Taco Bell. We're eating it 8 times a month, say. Let's just say 7 times a month. And then we just start counting every time we eat it, right? So we say, I'm going to have it 7 times a month. That doesn't feel like I'm deprived. Okay, I'm going to just do it 7 times a month next month. And the next month, I'm going to do it 6 times a month. Or maybe I jump to 5 times a month, right? Or maybe I jump to 1 time a month and one time a month and I really enjoy it. And I really get exactly what I want. I plan it ahead of time. I don't make it this big bingey thing. I get it because I'm choosing it. I get it because I'm using my rational brain to choose it. And then I'm not overeating on it. Then I'm not like going crazy on it, right? Okay. So we start realistic. We make a plan for ourselves of where we are right now. And then we move out of that. Okay. Let's see what else I said about here. Small shifts. Okay. Yeah. So you can get, so this is the concept of small shifts. You can get more protocols if you're sort of a little bit further along, that's fine. Or another great thing that I think is super helpful, do the challenges anyways. Do a challenge. That's why we only do 5 days. So it's not super overwhelming. So you can just get an idea for what that might be like later. Like, do I actually like the taste of the food? Do I feel fuller? That kind of a thing. Almost everyone who does the challenges is very surprised at the fact that they can be so full and still lose weight, that they can eat nutritarian food and it actually tastes good and they actually really like the flavor of it, right? Because you think there's so many people that have concern or fear about doing a 5-day challenge with us because of those reasons. It's going to take too much time. It's going to be too hard. I'll fail, whatever. But those thoughts and feelings, that creates concern. And when we're concerned and scared, we don't even try, right? So it's kind of this crazy catch-22. Might as well just give it a try and fail miserably if you want and come back to it next time and try again. And this will be your small shifts, right? Like just keep trying. Okay. So I just want to make a quick note about how to add calories for those of you who might be interested in gaining weight. Take our challenge, do exactly what the challenge says, and add either some nuts and seeds. So like nuts and seeds, grains, or what's the other one? Starches and beans. Even some fruit if you want, but start here, right? Like start with these ones. If you're trying to gain weight, you're trying not to lose weight, all you have to do is just add a little bit of stuff. And let's not make it dramatic, right? It's just adding a little bit of stuff. So for instance, if a recipe calls for 1 ounce of nuts and seeds, put 2 ounces in instead, right? Or if you don't have any grains during the day, add in a little bit of oatmeal or, just pour some oatmeal into your smoothie, whatever. We're not making a big deal out of it. We're just adding some extra calories. So that's how you can, for instance, if you're getting towards weight maintenance too, this is how you continue, stop losing weight, right? You just add a little bit, and you're always looking for hunger and satiety. So don't force yourself to eat. You never want to force yourself. You want to do hunger and satiety, but when you make your foods more calorie dense, it's easier to gain weight or to maintain your weight than if you are trying to add more of the same meal, right? Because the problem is when we design these challenges, they're for weight loss. So they have lots of fiber and not as much calories on purpose. So if you just try to like double your meal size, you're going to be too full and you're not going to get enough calories. So I say just add nuts and seeds and things like that and make it a lot easier, okay? Rebecca, so happy to see you. So glad you're here. Okay, so let's move on. That's how we start to create our own protocol. So this is how we create our own. And I want you guys to be following along with me. This is going to be the final little thing that we talk about here. I'm going to take a detour to talk about the fact that we are doing a challenge on Monday. We're starting a 5-day free 5-day challenge on Monday. Sign up at thewateringmouth.com/challenge. Last time I checked, we had 720 people signed up already for this particular challenge. So it's going to be amazing. Recipes, grocery lists, meal plans, all that. We have thought of everything for you. It's beautiful. Do the challenge with us. There's also a live workshop next week, just like this, but on different topics. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Come on live with me, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, same time, same place. Every day I'm going to be teaching about a different topic. We're going to talk about how the challenge is going and all of that, and it will keep you motivated, right? You'll have some accountability. It'll keep you motivated. It's going to be amazing. So show up for that. Then all that's great and everything, but the part that really matters to me is that you consider joining the Eat to Live family afterwards. So after the challenge ends on Friday, Monday is when the family opens up. So if you like the stuff we're talking about now and you like the stuff that we talk about on the workshop next week, you are going to love the family. So consider joining the family. I'll give you more details about that next week. Okay. So let's go back to, wait, where are you guys? There you are. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. Now, let me put this back up. Now, what I want you all to do is maybe you have been taking notes, but what I want you to do is get a fresh sheet of paper, okay? A fresh sheet of paper. Now you're going to create your own protocol with the guidelines that I give you, okay? So, protocol includes the number of meals you're going to have during the day, the timing. Are you going to do intermittent fasting? What's your schedule like? And how does it fit into what you are planning to eat that day? Okay, so those are the two things that you're going to look at. You're going to also, I forgot a few things because I just took some quick notes on this, but some other things you're going to look at are, so you got the number of meals, the timing. You've got like sort of, what do you want to put in the Fab Five, right? What healthy stuff do you want to put in? G-bombs. Making sure that you got your G-bombs, sort of healthy meals kind of a thing. You want to have bulk. You want to have enough fiber in that to keep you satiated. You want to have lower calories if weight loss is a goal for you. Otherwise, don't worry about the calorie part. And you also, this is just a side note, but you want to be thinking about hunger and satiety. So only eat when hungry. Stop when full. So this eat when hungry, stop when full part happens while you're actually eating the food that you have planned for that day. Okay. And so here's how you're going to do it. Let me get another paper down here. Okay. So for instance, my protocol might look like this. When I typically make a protocol, it's downstairs in a notebook of mine. I have one of them actually. Let me grab this book real quick. Oh, here's actually, let me let Vincent out too, because she's kind of being a jerk right now. Go. Okay. Now she's going to meow again in just a minute. So of course that's how she operates. Okay. So let's see if I can show you one of my protocols from before. Yeah, this is when I was doing very fun, pretty protocols. And I was actually like journaling and stuff and drawing at the same time. Here, let me move this out of the way. Here's an example of one of my protocols. So it was as if it was on a little notepad, right? Juice and vitamins and walnuts and then berry oatmeal. Then I was going to have a hummus bowl or salad and then smoothie or a juice, another juice or a protein shake. That was my protocol from 9/27 that I worked on. I had a little checklist here to see if I was getting all the what I call bare minimums of things that I wanted during that day. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds, obviously, juice, vitamins, and 15 minutes of exercise. So this took, because I drew, it took a little bit longer, but had I been writing this down on just like a regular piece of notebook paper, like this would have taken less than a minute to write. What takes a second to think of is, what do I have in my fridge? What is already made? Do I have time to make the things that are on my protocol? When will I make those things? What meetings do I have today? When is my lunch and how long do I have lunch? When is my breakfast? How long do I have for breakfast? When is my dinner? How long do I have for dinner? What if I have to make a meal for my family and I'm starved and there's not a meal made yet? This is my protocol, but what do I do if I get in this place where, say, we're running behind and I still have to make food for them and I got to make food for me or whatever? Like, how will I manage? What will I do? That's the stuff we start with. And it sounds like a lot in the beginning, but once you get really good at this takes a minute or two in the morning and you're done. Okay. Because what I usually do is, as I'm making my protocol, I'll take my phone, I'll get out my, my calendar and I'll say like, okay, here's my day. I'm going to be doing a StreamYard live at 12:30. It's hard to see, but I'm going to be doing a StreamYard live at 12:30. Earlier in the day, I knew that I was going to drop the kids for a few hours to do a specific, I had to create a video today. So I was going to have this time where I was working on the video. So I thought to myself, okay, when am I going to eat my salad? When am I going to get my salad in? And I thought, what I ended up doing was I was in such a hurry that I ended up just having an orange and some walnuts for breakfast, as well as my juice. And then I thought, well, you know what? That's going to hold me over for a couple hours. And then I'm going to be doing this live video. So I'm just going to have my salad after. That's my plan. So on my protocol, I would write down this kind of thing. So let me show you what I might do for today particularly. So my protocol today was I wanted to have juice for sure, because we already had it made in the fridge, juice plus vitamins. I didn't have any more smoothies. I ate all those yesterday. So I was for sure going to have a salad. And the reason I knew I would have a salad for sure anyways, is because that is one of my loving rules, that I always have a salad every day. That took me a little while to get to again, but I'm here again. And I also knew, because I had some bagged salads in the fridge, so that would be very, very easy to do. So I was like, all right, I'll have a bagged salad for sure. And then the juice. Those are the things that I know for sure. Today was going to be a bready day too, but then my daughters ate all the waffles and pancakes already. So I might have some toast perhaps. Today I actually planned to have something bready because I was craving it yesterday, but I don't act on my cravings. I wait till the next day. So I said, okay, craving, I see you. It's totally fine that you're there, but I'm just going to have the bread tomorrow instead. And so instead of having waffles or pancakes, because we didn't have any, I'll probably have some toast, like 1 or 2 pieces, probably like it'll all depend on hunger. 1 or 2 pieces with some vegan butter. Because that's my bready thing. That's what I want for the day. And when I do a protocol like this, I know that I'm probably not going to lose weight the next day, but I'm already preparing ahead of time for that to be the case, and I'm fine with that. And then what else is on my protocol? So I don't have a soup made. I don't have a smoothie made. I had so I was going to make a smoothie. Okay, so this was my protocol for the day, these things. And I looked at my day and I knew that the morning was going to be a little cramped. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, this is another thing that I do for my protocol now, which I don't put it in my Fab Five, but it's kind of just like the automatic, is matcha tea. This is always the first thing that I start with every morning. Now, because matcha is so high in antioxidants and I really love it, it's kind of like a nice little thing. I sell the best matcha in the whole entire world on my website. So if you're interested, you can check out that. But I have matcha every morning now because of the antioxidants and the EGCG and the cancer fighting properties and blah, blah, blah. So I have matcha every morning. And that's usually the thing that I know. It only takes me a couple minutes to make. And I just drink that so nice and comforting. And it keeps me, I don't need to eat for another hour or 2 after that. So I knew I was going to have that in the morning, which would hold me off while I was dropping my girls. And then I knew when I got back from dropping my girls, I would have something quick, because I was thinking as I was driving back, I don't have time for a smoothie. So I had to nix that. And then I was like, what do I have time for? I was like, we just bought a bunch of oranges. I was like, I'd have oranges and some walnuts. So I did that instead. So I changed my protocol midday because it was like loving myself and going like, what do I actually have time for? So it ended up being orange and walnuts. And so I have eaten this one and I have eaten this one. I still have my juice and my vitamins and my salad. Now remember, I am on the loving rule thing. And so I have juice in the fridge that I need to use up. I will definitely have that. And I'm definitely going to be eating a salad. So this will be my next meal, the juice and the vitamins and the salad at the same time. And then if I'm still hungry, I will have the toast. But I can guarantee you I'm not going to be hungry because I know this protocol and I know how much makes me full and I know how much I need afterwards. I know when I get hungry because I've done this so many times and I've practiced with this and failed with this so many times. Okay. And yes, very good. Planning is imperative in case of an emergency because they do happen. It's right. And so planning ahead always is taking care of yourself, is loving yourself. Sarah, when I say a time, it's always specific. So it's 12:30 my time, 3:30 your time. Yay, Jenny, you're here. I'm so glad. We're almost done with this one actually. So make sure you watch the replay, Jenny. And yes, hungry is very different than cravey for sure. Sarah loves a small shift reason for sustainable, healthy eating for sure. Okay. So that's how my protocol is going to go today. I can already tell you because it's 1:30 here already. I'm going to do my salad and stuff after this. So I'm going to be eating my salad around 2. I'll also have my juice and my vitamins. It's a little bit early. So there might be an opportunity around 6 or 7 when I'm feeding my girls dinner for me to have a little bit of bready stuff. And I'm going to go based on hunger and satiety. I'm not going to go based on the fact that I planned it and I have to eat it, or, I'm binging on it and I have to have it or whatever. I'm going based on, do I actually want it at the moment where I would be having it, right? So do I actually want those waffles or that toast at 6, 7 p.m. when my daughter is, do I feel hungry, right? Like, do I actually feel like I want to eat that? Then I will eat it, right? That's how that's going to go. So that's how my protocol is for today. I write that down. And when I need to, I think there was let me see if there was somewhere I had to actually write down the plan of timing and stuff too, because sometimes I have to get real specific about the timing. I'm good at doing that in my head nowadays, but like some days are so crazy that I just have to write it down, and I don't have anything in here as an example of that, but this is my old notebook. This is the one I just finished. This is sort of like the one I started with after pregnancy. It's got so many notes in it. Like, for instance, here's one I wrote to myself a long while ago. Dear Sherry, dinner is soup or a protein shake? Love, Sherry. Liz, like, remember, your dinner is soup or a protein shake. You're not going to be binging on whatever else you binge on, right? This one is such a wealth of things. Here's one where where I was writing down my blood sugar and things like that too. Let me see if I have. Okay, so that's all blood sugar stuff. Let's see if I have. So here's one where I was writing down a protocol, like options. This is where the Fab Five started. When after pregnancy, I was binging a lot, but I was like, let at least just eat kind of healthy stuff. And so my protocol was just very basic. And it was just like, here's a bunch of things that I might eat. I'll just eat when I want. And that is what kind of started to get me more towards Eat to Live. And that was a small shift for me. I would just make these big lists of like possible things, right? So this is like October of 2020 here is when I first started all this dieting, not dieting, but like all started trying to like eat to live again. And during that time period is when I was doing my my weight loss vlog too in the family. And so you can see in the family, like all of the everything I went through since October 5th, 2020, creating these protocols and stuff. So here's where I was messing with juice recipes and trying to figure out what to put in my juices. You can screenshot that if you want. Here's where I was working. So this is when I was diagnosed with cancer. And I started to work on an anti-cancer protocol. So what do I want to eat anti-cancer, right? And I didn't do this for a long time, but I was starting to really, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm having a hot flash. My medication, whoa. Oh, I'm sweating all of a sudden. You guys, many of you know what this is like. Holy cow. My ears get so hot. My neck starts sweating. I've been having so many hot flashes lately, but so that's examples of kind of how my protocol my protocol evolution has been over the last year and a half, 2 years. Okay. Yes. And Akon Marie says, doing a protocol and rolling prep so my food is ready makes this all so easy. That's right. That's what we teach in the challenges too, is this rolling prep. So when you have a protocol, you're like, these are the things I'm going to eat. And then when am I going to make the little parts of this? So for instance, you can see an example here of my rolling prep was already done a little bit because I have already made, or I asked my husband to make the juices yesterday. So the juices were already made. Then I can just reach in the fridge and get it, right? Like the salads, I already planned to have that I'm going to need salad. So I bought a bunch of salad at Whole Foods yesterday. And so the smoothie, like we didn't have any smoothies. So that rolling prep wasn't done. So I had to improvise and change that around. Okay. Chantal says she knows about the hot flashes for sure. Whoo, I'm feeling so warm. It's almost done. I know and I was thinking like, this is not going to be fun when it gets really hot here in Vegas during the summer too. But okay. So that's kind of how I work my protocol. So it's like number of meals. What is the timing? What is your schedule going to be like? How much of the healthy stuff do you want to get in? Are you getting in all your G bums? Do you want to get in all your G bums? That's up to you. It's your life. Are you getting enough bulk? And then this is an important consideration that you want to make sure that you're getting enough bulk and like lower calories if weight loss is a thing for you, is that if you're on that journey. And then are you getting enough satiety out of your meals, and are you eating when you're hungry, right? This other part here, really, really important. Write it down. I can't stress this one enough. You got to write it down. It might be something you just want to do on the fly, and you'll get good at that later, but that's not for right now. When we're starting off, we just write it down. We leave it out somewhere where we can see it. We look at it several times a day. Okay, write it down. So what is realistic, small shifts? And then what I want you to do is practice this. Just start practicing and do 2 weeks at a time, right? Like, this is my protocol for 2 weeks. I'm going to switch up the ingredients. So it's not like I'm eating the same thing all the time. And that's going to be it. Okay, I'm going to head out. Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to let Vincent in while you maybe think of some questions you might have, because she's meowing again, like I told you she was going to. So funny, after my hot flashes, like my legs start to feel cold, and I think it's just because they were sweating. Now they start to cool off a little bit. Yeah, 3 minutes, Chantal. That's about right. Now mine is starting to cool off a little bit. You can see I'm feeling a little better now. So that's it, everybody. That is that's the protocol workshop. Let me know. Do you have any questions about this? Let me know if you have any questions, because we're gonna cut off here. I want to mention that the challenge again. We're doing a 5-day free. Hold on, let me get rid of this real quick. A free 5-day Eat to Live challenge starting on Monday. You have plenty of time to get your groceries. So sign up at thewateringmouth.com/challenge, and you can download the challenge. Do it anyways, just because if you do that, then you can get all the recipes and all that. I'm going to see if I can find out how many people are signed up right now. Last time I checked, it was 720, but that was actually pretty recently, so it might be similar to that. But while we're waiting to see if any questions come in about this, Rochelle asks, so aim for 2 weeks at a time to try the protocol and then edit as needed. Yes, so that's a note that I forgot to make, Rochelle. Thank you. Try it for 2 weeks at a time in order to see if it works for whatever those goals are you talked about, right? Like, especially if it's for weight loss, you want to weigh yourself every day to see if it's working and keep trying and adjust the protocol, tweak as needed. So for instance, and we say 2 weeks because oftentimes, it can take some of us a really long time to lose weight, and we want to give it a fighting chance to see if it actually works. So give it 2 weeks, right? Like, try this protocol. See if after 2 weeks you haven't lost any weight and you're not binging and overeating, then the protocol has too many calories and you're overeating a little bit, right? And if you're going to lose weight, you're going to have a little bit of hunger. Okay, I don't want you to be starved, but everyone's going to have a little bit of hunger if you're losing weight, because you have a deficit. You have to have a deficit to lose weight, right? So there's going to be a tiny bit of hunger, but you want it to be sort of comfortable. You don't want to be like overdoing it and being starved. So you want to try to get your protocol in that level where you're getting enough calories, enough bulk, enough satiety to get through your days, and you're not starved, but you do have a little bit of a deficit. So check it out, see how it goes. If it doesn't work after 2 weeks, you got to change something around. Meaning, like, if your point is to lose weight, or if it's to gain weight. If it's to lose weight, you have too many starches, or you have too many grains, or you have too many nuts and seeds, or too many fruits, right? And so you take those higher calorie foods, reduce the amount of those, and replace them with vegetables. So we're not removing food. Let me make that point very clear too. If our protocol is not working and we are not losing weight, the answer is not to make our meals smaller, okay? Like, big flashing lights here. It's not to make the meals smaller. It's to make the meals the same exact size, but reduce the calories of the meals. So take out some of the nuts and seeds, take out some of the heavier foods, replace with vegetables, okay? Tatiana asks, how much water should we drink? I have a video about this, actually. Let me see if I can find that. I think it's called How Much Water Should I Drink? Yeah, Here's the video. Let me get the URL. Here it is. Okay, so, oops, this video is autoplaying. Here's the video for that. In a nutshell, Tatiana, not as much as you think. If you are eating to live and you're eating this type of food, sorry, my hairs are falling out. You don't need that much water. You need maybe like a glass around mealtime, maybe 1 or 2 glasses before bed. That's it. Like you don't really need that much water because the water content of our food is so high that and the sodium content is so low that if we're actually following the nutritarian diet the way it's laid out, and we try to drink like half a gallon or a gallon of water a day, it's going to be too much water. We will actually have sort of electrolyte imbalance in that way, right? But so this is about being realistic and honest with yourself and not letting your ego get in the way. Where are you in the spectrum, right? Are you eating a lot of salty foods? Are you still having a lot of fast food and things like that? Are you still having a lot of conventional tomato products with a ton of sodium and maybe some frozen foods and things like this? If you're having a lot of that still, and that's where your realistic plan, like there's no judgment here. It's just like, that's where your realistic plan is, have a lot more water. Okay. So those folks who are in that camp, definitely be having more water. Drink to thirst and drink some extra, right? But if you are back on track and you're doing the Fab Five the way I'm doing it, like I drink like, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 glasses a day. That's it. Max, I'm drinking juice. I'm having smoothies. I'm having all these things that have so much water in them anyways. I don't need any extra water. So just do it on a rolling basis, depending on where you are. Okay, Tatiana? Infinite Love and Gratitude signed up 5-10 minutes ago. Haven't received an email quite yet. This is a good thing. I'm glad you said that. Check your spam, wait a little bit longer. And if you don't receive it, email us at support@thewateringmouth.com. Okay. Let me see if I have that on a banner. Yeah, here it is. Support@thewateringmouth.com. Okay. Let me take that banner down. Let's see what else. Questions. Free Spirit, write it down. Really good idea. You're so welcome. And I know, hot flash. Whew, that was fun, wasn't it? I'm glad you liked it, Chantal. Great topic in coaching day. I'm so glad. There's going to be more awesome, great topics next week on the live workshop. Oh, good, Elizabeth. You got the challenge already. So good. And you made the almond ginger dressing already. Good. Yeah, our recipes are off the hook. Coach Nancy is like such a good recipe developer. We always get such wonderful comments about that. And Elizabeth says, I drink lots of water. I'll listen to the video after. Thank you. I honestly love water. I always drink a gallon as a sad eater too. Yeah, for sure, as a sad eater, you definitely want to have lots and lots of water. But when as we get more and more like this, it's actually dangerous in some cases to drink too much water. A gallon is way too much water for a nutritarian, because what ends up happening is you get this electrolyte imbalance. And I've actually had this happen to me before. You can look it up. It's called hyponatremia, which is too much water, not enough sodium. And it's really dangerous. There's a lot of like dizziness and things involved. It can actually lead to death. It's happened many times before, especially in you've heard those stories about the hazing and the initiation of fraternities and sororities and things, and they challenge people to drink a ton of water or something, and then there's like a kid that actually died from doing that, right? So it's something you want to be careful of. The symptoms I feel are something about like confusion and brain fog and things like that. And you can fix it with getting your electrolytes in order, but it is something you want to be careful about as you become more and more nutritarian. The advice about drinking water is for people who eat the standard American diet. That's why they say drink a gallon of water, because you need it to balance out all that sodium. The typical American eats 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams of sodium per day. The recommended intake from the American Heart Association is 1,500 milligrams a day. And the nutritarian recommendation is 700 to 1,000. So just imagine the amount of difference in sodium of a nutritarian diet and a standard American diet. That much of water can be detrimental. Sarah asks, how much cup of beans do I consume? I personally consume about a half a cup a day, half a cup. So usually when I'm making my salad, I'll be eating some of them. or I will put them on my salad. I don't measure. I just take, several handfuls and make sure that I get beans every day. I don't eat a lot of beans, but also if I have a day where I have some veggie burgers or a bean soup or whatever, I'm totally cool with that too. We want this to sort of become to a place where it's fluid based on how, like, our hunger, what we're interested in. Do we want something warm or cold, whatever? We want it to become fluid to where we can, like, what they say, intuitively eat. I don't like that term necessarily in this case, but you kind of get that picture. Is like, we can eat just when we're hungry. We stop when we're full. We're not emotionally charged by food anymore. And when we are there, which is a pretty advanced level, and that's what we call sweet fruition level of the Eat to Live family. There's a success path in there where I guide you towards this. And by the way, I just got to sweet fruition. I think it was earlier this week, or was it last week? I think maybe it was last week or this week, but I just got there too. This is like that final level of, we're not emotional about food anymore. We don't use food for, comfort. We just eat what we need to eat. We eat when we're hungry. We stop when we're full. We don't overeat. We don't binge. We don't this kind of stuff anymore. That's where we're headed. That's where we want to go, to where food is just, it's our fuel. That sort of a thing. And so we want to get to this place where food is easy, where food is useful, and it's not about making ourselves feel better. And when we get there, then, okay, I will in just a minute. Okay, I'm almost done. Do you want to come in here for a sec? Okay. When we get to that place, that's when the weight falls off. That's when the whole thing is just easy and there's no more drama anymore. That's where I lead you in the Eat to Live family. That's where we're going. Rochelle, is there a cheat sheet on Eat to Live basics in the family? Yes, there is one in the week 3 when we're talking about Eat to Live 101 stuff. There is a cheat sheet that gives you all the unlimited and limited foods. So download that, Rochelle. It's right in there. Eat to Live family includes the Eat to Live Academy, and that's all within the family. And there's a bunch of worksheets and cheat sheets in there and stuff. So if you're interested in the family, we got so many resources in there. And yeah, the G-bombs. Yep, it's all in there. Yes, Elizabeth, thank you. Support at thewateringmouth.com in case you don't get the 5-day challenge. Okay, that's it. That's all the questions. I'm so glad that you spent time with me today. I'm going to be back Monday through Thursday of next week to lead you through this 5-day challenge. We'll do a workshop every day at 12:30. And yeah, hold on one sec. Hello. Hey, I'm almost done. One sec. Yeah, I will. Okay. Yes, so go download the challenge. It is thewateringmouth.com/challenge. You've plenty of time. And even during the challenge, you have plenty of time to download whatever, even if you're not going to do it live with us. Join the workshop. Consider joining the family after the challenge is over, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I had a great time with you. I love you all. And yeah, have a great weekend getting ready for the challenge, and we'll see you on Monday, okay? Thanks, everybody. Bye.